Hello, everybody, and welcome to What's Going On Here. I'm Bob Venn, Calvin Castine on the camera, and our focus today is on the 9B construction through the main street, Lake Street, here in Rouses Point, New York. And our very first guest talking about this will be Arthur Bowker. And Arthur, your official title?
Village Administrator.
Village Administrator. And we're going to start with you, and we'll be talking to some of the merchants along the street, not to hear their complaints, but what they plan to do to keep their businesses. In other words, are they going to have signs, etc., and just see what their plans are and how long they anticipate this to happen and so forth. Well, Arthur, you've Art, I never call you Arthur. Art, we see you on TV quite a bit when they're village board meetings. You enjoy watching yourself on TV?
Well, I don't watch myself.
You don't watch yourself on TV? Thanks a lot.
I keep seeing my bald head on TV.
You tell them to move that camera out in the front. We got you in the right position today. Look at this. All right. How long have you been the village administrator?
Since November of '89.
It's over a year and a half.
Year and a half.
All right. And before that, what was Art Bowker doing?
I was with a construction company in Connecticut, and unfortunately, it was a small company, and they went out of business because of competition. And prior to that, I was with Wallace International Silversmiths for 15 years.
Is that in Connecticut?
That's in Connecticut.
Were you ever in Maine?
Oh, yeah, I was born in Maine.
You sound like Dick Collins, and they said, Dick Collins, you must be from Maine. Someone said that at a meeting, and you do have an accent like Dick a little bit. I guess that's from Maine, right?
Yeah, I guess it is.
Is it legal to call you a maniac then?
Sure.
Is that what they call you?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So you came here in '89, and when you came here, had you ever been an administrator before for a village?
No, except years ago when I lived in Maine, I was elected as selectman and tax assessor and overseer for a 2 terms.
So you were
6
not
years.
You were not unfamiliar with the terminology and the things that go on in the.
No, that's right.
Was that a small village or a city that you were?
A small village.
Small village.
Yeah.
And this is not relative. This is a pretty good sized village. It's 2,000, 2,500.
Actually, in Maine, it was a town made up of 7 villages. So.
7? That must be fun for politics.
Oh, yeah.
They all want something better part of the pie.
That's right.
I'll bet. Okay, when you came here, did you know when you first came that this 9B was being planned? Was it planned back that far?
No, well, the state, the Board of Trustees were aware of the fact that the state was going to reconstruct Route 9B. But there were no plans set at that time. And I was advised that would be one of our projects that I would have to work on quite diligently. Actually, the design of by New York State DOT on Route 9B started late last summer. And they came here and did a lot of measuring. They did aerial work to come up with these maps.
We'll show you those in a minute.
And the design was finalized in last December of '90.
Well, let me ask you several questions about that. Are they physically going to change the road and take any curves out, or
in places?
They will be changed a little bit then?
And they're changing the elevation. For example, out here by Chapman Street, the road banks towards the lake. So they will be lowering the road on the west side of Lake Street at Chapman and raising the road on the east side.
Okay, for you people out there who may not know the streets all by name, it's right next to the park and at the post office is on Chapman.
Yes,
is that correct?
That's right.
And now they are going to replace, are they going straight down deeper than where they, well, first of all, I've noticed they've cut on each side of the road in about 4, 5, 6 inches.
Right.
And there's another road down there. Are they going to remove that sub-road?
No. The milling, what they call milling and resurfacing of the road, started at Smith Street. It's ending right out here by Liberty Street in front of the village office. Then they will totally reconstruct the road from out here up to Route 2.
Which is where you turn to Vermont?
Right. And then from there to the Canadian border, they'll do the milling and resurfacing the same as they did.
All right. Let me see if I can understand what you're telling me. Right near to the church back, they won't be doing a lot of digging.
Right.
They've just cut out. They're gonna. Will they also dig out those portions on the side where they had cut it? Do you know where they're going to do that?
Yes, they'll dig that out. And that, as far as the road is concerned, but as a part of the village betterment, Luck Brothers will be replacing the sewer line from White Avenue right up to Washington Street, so they will be digging on the side of that.
All right, but basically the road then, where all the construction, main construction is right through the heart of downtown here. Is that
right.
correct?
That's
The
right.
merchants must love that, and everybody else too.
Right, right.
All right. Now, will that be done before they do this portion here? Are they going to do that resurfacing and that from the church back before they start digging down Main Street?
I'm not
Lake
sure
Street?
of that. I'm not sure of that, and the reason I'm not sure is that they are going to start at Smith Street and putting in new sidewalks from Smith Street right up through.
There's no sidewalk there now, is there?
Yeah, there's
Is there one? Okay, in places?
In sidewalks.
It'll be on the west side, away on the
Yeah,
non-lake
west
side.
and they'll be putting all new curbing in from Smith Street going north. And whether they'll refinish this road where they know, whether they'll refinish that before they finish with the sidewalk and the curbing, I don't know.
Okay. Do you have a completion date, tentative, on when this is all going to be done?
The state's completion date is July of ¡92.
Will they be working next winter?
Luck Brothers wants to be done by December of '91,
Okay.
but I'm really not sure whether they can make it by December of '91. I think it'll be going to '92.
Okay. Did they give you any idea at all how long from the church up to Route 2 will really be in quote-unquote bad shape, or they didn't give you any ideas at all on that? All right. In addition to the road, they're going to be putting in new storm drains,
There'll be new storm drains starting at Smith Street going north.
which is just the south end of the village.
Right. And that's part of the state contract. As a village betterment, Luck Brothers will put in new sewer line from White Avenue almost up to Washington Avenue.
White Avenue is right in the corner. Oh, no, that's just beyond the library here,
Just
isn't it?
beyond the library.
All right, that's White.
They've already finished, they put in a new sewer line from in front of the rec center up to just beyond Route 2. And they went up on the east side, they cut across to Rose Avenue, and then they're going up the west side. They'll finish that up today.
You'd have to say this is major construction.
Oh, yes.
What plans, if any, does the village have for a diversion of traffic during this period, and where will the diversion be?
Well, we've asked the state to put signs at Route 9 and Route 9B, 276 and 11, 276 and Prospect Road,
Before they even get to Rouses
Right.
Point. Keep them out of Rouses
and
Point.
276 and Lake Street. And we've asked them to put signs diverting trailer trucks. They hope to, they plan to keep one lane open at all times through the village. I find that a little difficult to believe they'll be able to do that.
It would slow you up, I would think, an awful lot too, and it's dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Is there any plans at all to divert traffic, say, up Pratt Street and over Maple, or back around by Montgomery and then cross Main Street and not even let them get on over near Route 2 onto Lake Street?
Well, we don't want the trailer trucks on Maple Street, but they may have to divert the automobiles. We like the trailer trucks to stay on Route 276.
Do you know when they're physically going to be digging up Lake Street itself here and going down and doing their thing deep? Nothing, no plans on that. All right, the latest thing then, just more, we'll just kind of, so you're going to be doing, you're putting electricity too, wires under the road, underground, right? All the way?
Cable and...
How far back, as far as Champlain Street there, next to the Saxony?
Right. We've already completed it from Champlain Street to Academy Street. They've completed the trench and the installation of the conduit from Academy Street to Liberty Street. And then next week we'll start at the north end by Route 2 and work back. Because Luck Brothers doesn't want us to do the electric work in the downtown district until they finish moving the water shutoffs.
All right, now I've read this morning's paper. I think it was this morning, maybe it was yet this morning's paper. Something came up I never thought of. When you remove telephone poles, electric light poles, you don't have a place to put your street lights anymore, correct?
Well, we'll still put in the...
You'll have to have a separate pole.
Right.
That would be put up. And that won't be done right now. There's going to be some delay on that.
Well, except by midsummer, I would say the middle of June, the end of June, we should have the new street lights in from Champlain Street to Liberty Street.
Did I hear that the sidewalk's going to be 5 feet wide?
In a lot of sections, you know, under the new law, handicap, it has to be a minimum of 5 feet where possible.
You mean even along the residential area? That's a wide street. They aren't even 4 now, are they? 3.5 maybe?
Well, some are 3.5, some are 4.
So they're going to be 5 feet.
The widest one is 18.5 feet wide.
You'll have some clowns on there with small cars if you don't watch yourself. They'll be out there driving around, huh?
Through the business district where they go from the curb right to the buildings, where some of them are 10 feet, some are 15 feet wide.
We're at the village office. We're talking to Art Bowker, the village administrator, and we're going to take a short break and be right back to you. You're watching Hometown Cable, and we hope you're watching it every night at 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 1 a.m., and again the next morning at 9 o'clock. And don't forget our program called What's Going On Here. That's what you're watching right now, every Sunday night at those same hours, and we hope you watch those. And don't forget, if you aren't already a patron, consider it. And Hometown Cable's at an address at RR1, Box 180 in Champlain, New York. And for you people who like numbers, that's 12919. We'll be right back. Right here. All right. We're back again, and we're looking at, what do we call this, Art? What is this set of plans here?
Well, this is a reduced set of plans prepared by the New York State DOT Design Department, outlining everything that has to be done as part of this project. This particular plan shows, this is Smith Street here, and Stony Brook Road, or Stony Point Road, I guess it is here.
Village limit starts right in about the middle of that road.
Yeah, well, just this side.
Just this side? Len Roth's property right here?
Right.
Is there?
And this shows, this is in yellow, I don't know if you can...
You can see the yellow, I think, here.
And this is where they'll be replacing the storm drain, south of Smith Street going north.
So this is a duplicate of the plans they're working with, only theirs are 4x4 or 4x5 at the same size of a sheet, right? Is that correct?
Well, I have a larger set over.
You have a big, okay, what they're going to do?
Up over there in the corner.
Okay, so this is what for yourself to work with. And they got all the people's names along here who own the property, and where the building is located, and maybe where electric lines run and so forth. They have to know everything, because when you start digging, you better not dig in the wrong place.
Yeah, this shows water lines, sewer lines. It shows trees on people's property.
Yeah. Elevation, the works. And here again, it continues down.
It continues down. They're coming across here, north of Smith Street, coming across with a lateral with a storm drain going into the lake. And then it continues north up past...
Dan Murray's is right here, and here's Edgewood Drive, Edgewater Drive that goes into that development.
And the storm drain continues north past Myers Street and up, I'm not sure what's this place. Just south of
Cedar Hedge here.
Yeah, south of Cedar Hedge is where they're coming across here with
another storm sewer.
Pipe going
into the water. It shows the rock formation along, debris, rock outcrop along the sides. And now we're going to get into, I guess, the heavy part right there.
Yeah, this whole section
Times Square
will be totally reconstructed. Right now the storm drain's going up here, and then they're coming down, going into the lake. The village south end pumping station for the sewer plant is right here. And what they're going to do is they're putting in a new line from this manhole to here. They're putting a manhole in here, putting a new line, sewer line across, and then a new sewer line from this new manhole up to a new manhole in front of the sewer plant. And then they'll put a new line from this manhole to the old manhole right over here. This section right here will be sealed off.
If you remember when we had our tour down at the sewer plant, they talked about the northern outlet where they pump from here, the pumping station here, and another one over next to Arist, right, where they pump into the
Maple Street.
Right. So that's the main bottleneck right there, because there's an awful lot of cars. Is there any projection of how many cars that there are in a week or a month in that area? Have you seen any figures?
No, I haven't seen any figures on that.
You know, I've heard as many as 2 million cars a year on Route 11 that pass the old Sunny Hill Farm. That's a lot of cars.
A lot of cars.
It means that most of them are going to make that curve, or Maple Street, one or the other. You know, there's a few turn off, but
that's right.
Now, are you going to try to divert any traffic that comes in, cars coming in from the west down Maple Street?
The cars, there may be points in time where the cars will be diverted up Pratt Street and then south on Maple Street.
Mm-hmm.
Because the merchants don't want us to
obviously, yes,
divert any cars, but there may be times necessary. Trailer trucks, we want to divert those going through, divert out Route 276 and down 276 to Route 11. We've asked the states to put signs at Route 9B and 276 and 11, 276 and Prospect Street.
This is the curved area right across from where Montpelier used to have the cabins here, and Steve Lombard, the old Leo Landry home is right here, and Mr. Lincourt here, and then the, what drive is this that goes up here? Washington, not Washington.
No, that's a driveway.
Driveway, oh, that's why it's in, and Arthur Spiegel's big stone house is here. Arthur and Margaret, I should say. And again, now the orange is what?
The orange, they're going to move this stone wall that's in front of Spiegel's.
Yes.
They're going to move that entire wall easterly towards the lake, including the pillars.
Now, is that a state property or is that Art's property? Do you know that whole area out there?
Well, this is Mr. Spiegel's property out here.
Okay, but they're going to move. They own a right of way, of course.
But this wall is
in their right of way.
Is within the state right of way.
Then some more, the storm surge, and here's Academy Street, right next to where the anchorage is, right here. As you can see, this is a long project, very detailed map, and down through again White Avenue, and that's where your other construction you mentioned was happening here.
Yeah, they'll be, Luck Brothers will be replacing this sewer line in the green color. Starts right here at White Avenue and goes north.
Gaines Garage and Marina is out here. Catholic Church is right here with their new building going up in front, which we hope to get to on sometime this week or next to do a story. And there's some more of the downtown. We're getting into the area now, pretty near where the Village Hall is, village offices.
Now there is a storm drain right now on the south side of the village office, but it's very close to the water intake for the water filtration plant. So the state's going to move that storm drain from where it is, and they're putting in a new line on the north side of the village office.
Several reasons for that, I think. If you'll remember, when you talk about the Lake Champlain, it's one of the few lakes in the country that flow north.
That's right.
So that anything that's going here is going to flow away from the water. If it's on the other side, it's going to flow right into your water source, right?
Right.
So they put it on the north side. It makes sense.
Right.
And this is right downtown again?
Yeah, and all you see the sewer line coming across here,
yes.
That'll be replaced. Going up here, the sewer line coming across here gets replaced, across here and across there.
If it's in the same place, are they still going to replace it while you're at it? Might just we'll put a new one?
Oh, yes. They're not, you see, we had Vermont Pipeline Services do a video taping of this entire sewer.
In the pipe?
In the pipe.
Inside. Tell us a little bit about that. How do you do that?
Well, they ran a video camera on a little dolly all the way through the sewer pipes. In fact, I have 7 tapes.
Must be interesting.
Of a tour through the sewer lines of Rouses Point.
Huh? Have you? I haven't seen that. All right.
Yeah.
We've been underground and in the pipes even, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so now we're getting down through the village. There's Washington Avenue right down, right in the heart of the community here.
That's right.
And then I guess we're not quite up to the Holland Hotel. Must be on that corner there, but
No, you were there.
No,
was I there?
We were there.
I was there.
Yeah,
This is the Holland here. Okay.
State Street. This
Here's
is
State.
Holland.
This is the Holland here, and this is the main corner here, and Myers Building's over here.
Now you see all of these dotted lines where there's a triangle
Yes.
within a circle. That's where all the electric conduits are going to come across. Luck Brothers will be digging up all of these.
There's 100 and that's 11. So that's 112.
No,
That's something else.
that's another one. Here's 12.
12. Okay. All kinds of things underground here are going to be in Rouses Point, and as we work now to the. This is our west side. Yes, that's the west side. Eddie Bayshard, and we're getting over near the fire station here someplace. Are we?
The fire station
right in here.
Is right here.
Okay. Calvin asked when we were off camera before, what happens in emergency now? Are there any provisions for the fire truck, and they have to get out and there's construction, and a couple of minutes is very important.
If in such a case arises, the fire truck should come out the front door of the building, go around back, and there's a road connecting right onto Pratt Street.
So there is another exit. Okay, there's another exit, so they could get out to go to that end of the community and not be delayed at all.
Right.
Obviously, they can't be running up Lake Street to go to the south end of the village. They'll probably take Maple and really move down through there. All right. Do you anticipate any, with all this added traffic possibly on Maple Street, any changes you're going to have? Will there be any, you don't have any part-time policemen to be out there directing traffic or anything like that?
No, that's a real problem.
I would think it would be, with all those stop signs now, and people will be going through those stop signs, not expecting them. You thought of that, at least.
Yeah, we thought of it. We don't know what the answer is.
All right, I don't want to make it any worse than it is. All right, here we're heading north again.
Heading north. And right here in front of the recreation center is the sewer line. The village crew replaced the sewer line from here right up Barn Street to Lilly Avenue. Luck Brothers has been replacing the sewer line from here going north. And
now the village crew is doing some of the construction work,
yeah,
correct?
in fact, right now the village crew started about in here, just south of the sewer line, putting in a new water line. And they're already down in front of, well, this morning they were in front of Rouses Point Coal and Supply. They'll continue, and then they're going up Pratt Street to Maple Street.
You got to remember, you people out there watching, that in a village like here, or Moores and Champlain, a lot of things going on, and mostly your mayor and your trustees all have full-time jobs, and you have to have somebody available. That's one of the reasons that Rouses Point has an administrator like Art. He does their work for them, and he has the authority to do the things when they're not available. They can't be here, and it's a full-time job right now for sure. Huh?
It is, for sure.
And we don't want to be taking too much of your time today here, but we're just telling you what's happening during this 9B construction in Rouses Point. This is the road that goes out Route 2?
That's Route 2, yes.
Okay, then your village limits end right just past the... Does it go past the customs house? It ends just before, right?
Just before.
There's
But
a line.
they will continue, you know, we talked about milling and resurfacing.
Yes.
They'll continue the milling and resurfacing about right in here. And they go from here to the Canadian border.
Okay, then that'll be done over too. All right, the rest of this is all explanations of some of the other things we've seen.
Well, this continues right up to,
Up to the
Canadian
border, yep. So this is the detailed plan, so that an administrator, in addition to being here to answer the phone and hear all your complaints and everybody's complaints, also has to be able to be conversant with plans,
Right.
requirements, DEC, ABC, everything else they are. Huh? Now, are you still taking courses? Are you reading any? Are you going away to any courses to be conversant with these various things that are required?
No, I've wanted to, but I haven't had time, frankly. There's so much going on that
Yeah.
a lot of these courses are offered during the daytime. It's just not possible to get away. So.
All right. Anything that you can think of that I have not covered about this project down the street that you'd like to mention, either to the merchants or to the people in Rouses Point or the people who are traveling through here, that you might have thought I was going to ask you and haven't been intelligent enough to ask you that question?
Well, one thing the residents might like to know is through the business district, instead of having concrete for the sidewalks, they will use these paving blocks. similar to, I don't know if you've been through Malone.
I haven't been in the new sections, no. You mean that's going to be afterward or during?
That'll be during. In other words, instead of having concrete sidewalks through the business district, it'll be these paving blocks.
And they'll be there afterward too? No, that's just temporary, you mean? That's a
No,
temporary?
that's permanent.
Permanent.
Yeah, the sidewalk will be constructed of these paving blocks.
A foot or 18 inches square, you mean? And
they're about 8 inches, and they're hexagon, I believe.
Mm-hmm. No, I haven't seen those in Malone. I really haven't been. I've been through the main street, but I hadn't noticed those. They had a problem in Malone, but I guess they got through it. What's your biggest anticipated headache as you see this job, Art?
Well, the thing we worry about the most is when they do all the digging, is the problem of possibly breaking water lines. And we've already found with the work that has been done that in order to shut off the water in certain areas, the valves are so old that we have to shut off many valves just to reduce the flow. For example, at the south end where we had a break, they had to shut off 4 valves and open a hydrant, and still it was trickling through. So that's one of the things we're really concerned about is if water lines are broken, then there may be a large section of the village that will be without water until it can be shut off.
Now, the streets that run between Lake and Maple, there'll be no construction on those side streets at all?
Yes, there'll be new aprons. You'll notice on each of the streets where there's a sign that says "in construction."
All right.
They'll be paving up to that point. Or resurfacing, I should say.
Will that be done at the very same time they'll be working on Lake Street itself?
After they pave Lake Street.
After they pave the lake, then you'll be doing that? Okay, so what I'm thinking of is, if I wanted to come shopping, I want to go to Harrison's, I want to go to the appliance store, I want to go to a restaurant, I could park on that side street. There will be some parking area there.
That's right.
And I could walk down. You won't be constructing there at the same time you're doing Lake Street.
Right.
Okay. Right.
Now, one thing the residents should also know, the mayor appointed a off-street parking committee, and they're supposed to be making their report at tonight's board meeting. And apparently they found a couple of lots which are fairly centrally located, which will be able to be used for off-street parking.
I heard that on Hometown Cable 1 we were talking about it maybe a month ago. We were talking about some of those, and somebody wanted to know if they'd be permanent for later on. I think the word was no, it's a temporary thing. These lots were going to be temporary at that time.
At that time, well, they apparently have, on one lot they have the option of renewing it for a year or purchasing that lot. The other lot they have the option of renewing it for 1 year, but the 2 years is the limit.
The man that's giving you all these answers and all this nice information is Art Bowker. He's the village administrator here in the village of Rouses Point. I'm Bob Venn. You're watching Hometown Cable. What's going on here? And we'll be right back to you, and thanks for tuning in. So that we don't leave you hanging and thinking that when they talked about the storm sewers going into the lake, I'm sure there's some people out there who don't realize maybe what a storm sewer, the word sewer maybe is a bad phrase there. It's really, tell us what a storm sewer is, Art.
Well, a lot of people call it storm sewer, but it's really a storm drain.
That's better.
And that carries the surface water off into the lake.
It's the grates you see along the corners of the street.
Yes.
You know, where the water all drains off the streets and just go, so it won't go into your sewer system.
It won't go into the sanitary sewer system, right.
Now, you were saying that some of those have broken and they're getting into your sewer system?
Well, some of the sanitary sewer lines that we're replacing were broken in places. As a result, letting a lot of surface water getting into the sanitary sewer system. So it's those sections that are being replaced.
You could tell that from your underground tour you had
yes,
with your camera?
Right, right.
All right. Well, Art, we're going to be talking with some merchants, some people on the road, street here, before we get this onto TV. And if we get into any problems that we can't If people got any real big questions, we might stop back in and let you maybe answer them before they get on TV.
Sure.
Would that be all right?
Sure.
And listen, thanks very much for talking with us here. And I see you got the head of an Indian here. Looks like a Pontiac car here. The old Pontiac symbol there. Maybe that's Pontiac himself. Thanks very much, Art.
Thank you.
You're looking at the southern end of the village of Rouses Point. You can see the sign where it says call again. On the other side it says welcome to Rouses Point. Smith Street is on that little street on the right, just past the 30-mile-an-hour sign. And where you see the orange protected up there on the right next to the telephone pole, that's where the construction starts on Route 9B through the village of Rouses Point. And as the camera turns and you see Lake Champlain in an easterly direction, there's construction behind me. They're clipping some trees. There goes a big part of the tree coming down. And as you can see what they've done so far, as we were talking with Art Bowker yesterday, we talked about, and here is where they've cut down about 2 to 3 inches. They just seem to cut it through here. And what you're looking at is the old pavement in Rouses Point with the old yellow line that's been there, I guess, for years. It was covered up with the new blacktop whenever the road had been resurfaced before. And some of the workers, I think these are, I'm not sure whether those are village or state workers. They probably are state. And they're cutting down the trees, making way. And they're going to remember, a sidewalk does come out here. I never noticed it, but it's going to be 5 feet wide. You'll see in this area, it's about 3 feet or 40 inches, and that's an extra full width, at least another foot. We're right in front of the Penfield house here on Lake Street, right at the beginning of Lake Street. We're at the high end of the numbers. The numbers start on the north end and come in this direction, I believe. I could stand corrected, and I believe they are, though. I think Len Roth's home up here is one of the high numbers. And what we want to do is go down through and stop at the various business places and see how the construction is going to affect their business, what plans, if any, they've had or they have to counteract this, which apparently will have some effect on their business, and what they feel about it in general. Certainly it's something that has to be done, and when it's finished by 92, it's going to help the complete village, and it will help their businesses. But that's our plan, our focus this morning, continuing on the Route 9B construction through the heart of Rouses Point Village. Bob Venn here on what's going on here this morning. It's just before 10 o'clock, and it's Tuesday morning. Calvin with the camera again, and thanks for watching Hometown Cable. We're in the Cedar Hedge Nursing Home, and this lovely view you're seeing right now is a picture in the lobby here at the Cedar Hedge. And we're right behind this section right here, and this is a picture of the Cedar Hedge and then the old Cedar Hedge here, and the lakefront and all of the nice countryside here in Rouses Point. And we're going to be going outside, and we're talking, this of course is owned by the Pollock family and operated here, and it's into their 20th year, I guess, or more. We'll find that out when talking with Lynn, their daughter, and when we're going to be going outside. One correction I want to make, talked to someone, one of the workers, and they told me that the yellow line you saw, and I pointed out as being from the old road, is incorrect. It was a very temporary line they had painted because it's a state requirement that they have one. So that line we saw in the road was a recent line, although it's not very bright because all the dirt and everything else has been pushing around it. But it is not what I told you, and we want to correct that because we try to be factual, even though we don't always know what we're talking about. We try to be factual when we know it. We'll be going outside. Thanks for staying with us. We're outside now with two of the, I guess we have to say employees here at the Cedar Hedge Nursing Home. And the first?
Lynn Carswell.
Lynn Pollock Carswell, right? Yes,
right.
You're part of the family. You're running the Cedar Hedge. How long has Cedar Hedge been in existence?
Oh, wow. The original building was 35, I think it is.
35. Well, I was
35, I believe.
I was 10 years short when I showed the picture inside.
Before me.
Before you. Oh, all right. Oh, you're
35.
You're glad. All right. And the other lady right here.
My name is Shirley Blair.
Okay. Now you are Quality of Life Coordinator.
Yes, I am.
All right. And Business Manager.
Right.
Bob Venn, Hometown Cable. All right. So Shirley, what does it mean to be Quality of Life Coordinator?
Well, basically it is just to see that the residents meet their quality of life within the confinement of the nursing home.
Okay. And how long have you been with Cedar Hedge? Yes.
2.5 years.
Okay. Now, we're talking here mainly, now we know who these people are and that we got just a little bit about Cedar Hedge. What about this construction? Has it affected you much yet, what's going on out front?
Well, our major concern is getting our staff in and out and our patients in and out. And it has affected them, and Shirley will talk more about the patients.
Okay.
But the staff have had a little bit of trouble, mostly at 3 o'clock, because they come in at 7, there's no problem because the road crew hasn't started yet. But it's 3 o'clock, it's hard getting them in and out because of the flagmen holding them up. And
Okay, excuse me just a minute. There's a person that has no trouble getting here. She has no trouble getting here to the nursing home.
Never.
Peg Barcomar worked with us 2 or 3 times on here on Hometown Cable. And we worked the other day together, Peg. You did the work, I ran the machine. Thanks, Peg.
she never has trouble getting in.
She never
She
has
always
trouble
makes
getting
it
here.
in.
Yes, her dad's here, right? It's her dad she's coming to see. All right. How many people do you have working at the nursing home?
Approximately 80.
80 people. Oh, I had no idea. No idea. And do they mostly come from the west or from the south?
They come from all over.
Okay.
All over. But they do get stopped at, of course, the corner next to Champlain Street, and then south of us also.
And I think you told me off camera you've done something to kind of eliminate some of this
For the
problem.
3 o'clock overflow of staff coming in and out, we've kind of opened up the back area so they can get in and out there.
Okay, what was the lawn right there? And they haven't paved it or anything like that. They just let them go right out and go right on to Stewart and over onto Trey and out onto Route 11. Now, that's not for the public. We want to make sure.
No, we don't want to cause problems in the back. You know, that is a family area, and there are kids out there, so we just have our staff going in and out when they have
This
to.
is a temporary thing
Right,
because of the construction. And that's what people are going to have to do along the way. That's what we're trying to find out, what is happening along.
And that's usually happening just about 3 o'clock, so it's before the kids are getting off the bus and that kind of stuff.
Okay. And what about the people coming to see the patients and the patients leaving and so forth?
Coming to see the residents in the nursing home, I think last week we had one visitor that spent quite a few minutes at the corner there, but he was very understanding when he got in.
Mm-hmm.
But for the residents in the nursing home, the use of the sidewalk for the younger residents at this nursing home here, we have about 9 or 10 that are wheelchair bound and are free to go about town on their own. So of course with the sidewalks being eliminated and torn up, it's hard for them to go. So they've been kind of, going down the back end and up on Rock and Stewart Place.
Did you hear what the size of the sidewalks are going to be?
I know when it's
Later,
done,
when it's done, I
going
realize
to
that, of
be
course.
gorgeous,
Yes.
and of course we're not complaining,
Yes.
but we just can't wait till
Yeah,
it's
I'm sure.
finished.
It's talking 5 feet. 5 feet
Right.
wide now, which is a good over a foot wider than they are now.
And I know last year several of the residents were coming back and they got stuck because of the uneven sidewalks,
Okay,
and we had to go and help them get back to the nursing home.
Okay.
But they're, I think, going to be understanding of every day when it's nice and the construction's in front of the entrance and exit. They're right out there supervising the job.
Right. And then you'll be able to meet even on this 5-foot sidewalk. You'll be able to meet, and they'll have a center line for them. I'll go right up and down here.
Right.
That's terrific. Well, I'm sure that this in front here will be done one of the first things. That's just resurfacing this here.
We're hoping
This
so.
will be done. We talked to Art Balker yesterday, and you watched this show. It'll be on, I think, the 2nd of June. So maybe you'll hear about it. So thank you very much, Lynn Carswell, business manager.
Thank you.
One of the Pollocks.
One of the Pollocks.
One of the Pollocks. And Shirley, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else, by the way, that you're not a Pollock? No.
No.
But you're related to a Manette.
Family, though.
Anything you want to say that I haven't about this project? Anything else I didn't think about it?
Well, we think it's wonderful. It's finally getting done.
Okay. What about the dirt? Is there much dirt coming in your area because of the dust?
We haven't noticed it here.
The wind blows in the opposite direction here. And
Right, we haven't noticed any dust.
Okay.
A lot of dust,
thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
We're at the Cedar Hedge Nursing Home, and we're talking about Route 9B. Shirley Blair and Lynn Carswell. Thanks much. That sun is something right here, Calvin.
beautiful.
You're right in the eye.
Yep.
Okay. we're now at the Log Cabin Motel, and we're out on the eastern section, out here on what would be called a pier.
The pier, yeah, the old Cook's Ferry dock.
And you're the owner, and name is?
Leonard J. Bell.
Leonard J. Bell. And you've been here how long, Leonard?
25 years.
All right. Now, have you ever had construction along here before like this?
None whatsoever.
All right. Well,
Maybe it's servicing, that's about all. Resurfacing. The state did themselves.
Now, actually here they're only going to resurface, I think, as far as the
That's
corner,
right?
right?
Yeah.
How is this going to affect your business? Have you thought about it at
No,
all?
I never gave any thought.
You haven't?
Because basically most of our business is repeat business.
It is
People know where we are.
Okay. So you have made no ulterior plans or
None
anything?
whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
No.
Now, what you're saying nearly is if you get them, you get them. If you don't,
I don't. I don't worry about it. Because the way the economy is, we don't know what's going to be like this year.
okay.
But so far, we got no complaints.
Okay.
The economy is good as far as
Yeah.
we're concerned.
Mm-hmm.
And like right now, as you know, all around the area, there's a lot of construction going on. There's on Route 87,
Yes.
and there's down in Shazy, they're doing the bridge, they're doing all kinds of construction in the area.
But you haven't noticed any apparent difference so far yourself?
No whatsoever.
What about yourself going into the Grand Union? Are you going?
Well,
one
I
of the
take,
other
I take a detour. I go along Maple Street.
Okay, so you didn't do that before, so that's one of the changes
That's
you've
right, yeah,
made.
I made.
And then you're right across from the exit, so you go right straight up on Champlain
Up Champlain
Street,
along Maple Street, and then I avoid all of the
and you
congestion.
stay out of it there, all right?
Because otherwise, I got to go downtown. I got to get back quickly. Because I'm all here by myself.
All right.
So that's, I mean, as far as I got no complaints on the construction whatsoever.
Okay, well, that's one of the, that's what we're looking for. We're not
Yeah.
looking for complaints necessarily. We're looking, we just saw a very innovative back entrance out of the Cedar Hedge Nursing Home. They went across their lawn, going to go out the back way for their employees because they're having trouble getting by this corner, see? And it's a very innovative thing that they've done. But you have nothing like that at all.
No,
You're happy.
I'm quite happy.
You're glad I came.
Certainly glad to see you, Tom. God's been.
Oh, now I wonder why.
Now-
I
now-
wonder why
see,
this guy would call me Tom. Tell me why you'd call me Tom.
Well, he probably lived here for some time.
Yes,
with
he
my
did.
daughter.
But you had a
Back and
beautiful
forth.
daughter. We were
Oh,
just.
she's gorgeous.
Oh,
yeah.
she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It certainly is. Debbie Bell.
Yeah, and she's expecting again.
Huh?
She's
She's expecting again?
Yep.
Well,
In
great.
November, yeah.
Oh, that'd be two?
Yep.
Two.
Yep.
Well, Grandpa, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thanks much, Len.
Good,
All right.
righto.
Okay, right, bye.
Oh, no.
That's where we are, Racine's Garage on the corner of Main and Champlain, Lake and Main Street. And I know his name is Rodney. It's Rodney Racine. Good morning.
Hey, Bob.
How long have the Racines been on this corner?
Oh, my dad had it for 27 years,
And you've been here for,
since 82.
oh, so that's 9, that's 36 years there?
Yeah.
Guess you'll be here for a while. You got some sons coming up. They're going to do this?
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be too interested in this, but God knows. We'll see.
Okay, Rodney, we're here this morning to talk about the construction along 9B, and this is probably one of the mainest corners right here, and except for right downtown in front of the Holland and the Myers building. But what have you noticed so far? What do you anticipate, and what are your feelings about this?
Well, as far as feelings, it's something that has to be done. And I'm not against it. It's probably going to cost me some business for this summer or whenever all the time this construction is on. But once it's finished, then it'll be nice, and where traffic is going to keep flowing through, and we won't have to worry about the bypass that people kept talking about years and years ago.
Well, tell us about it. What bypass are you talking about?
Well, at one time there was a talk of trying to put a bypass off the end of the bridge to bypass the village for the truck traffic. Of course, if you have truck traffic going up a road, cars are going to go with it, and as far as downtown businesses, they're going to lose.
That's what happened to Champlain, did you know?
Champlain,
You know-
Shazy, when the interstate was put
Yeah,
in,
yep.
Plattsburgh, when the interstate went by, downtown Plattsburgh went. So,
Is a large percentage of your business through traffic more than local?
yes. 'cause
You get a
we-
lot of local, your repair work
Yeah.
and so forth. And
Well, yeah, our we do a lot. We have a lot of transit people that travel. Like, this is a major artery between 89 and 87.
Mhm.
So we get the people that are traveling back and forth.
With this
That is
brand new corner you set up here, all these new tanks under cover and nice new building, which you rented part of it, and in your Butler building. They call that a Butler building?
Well, more or less they call that a butler pig.
Okay, back there, and then with a brand new road, you got it made.
Have I?
Yeah, except for one thing, you got to work long hours. Huh?
I guess, yeah. Well, I don't know. As long as I can make payments at the bank, I guess is the main thing.
So there's nothing you are doing physically to change any of this. I mean, in other words, you're not putting a different sign up, traffic?
No, well, we were waiting for the Mobile Oil is supposed to put us a new sign on the corner, but we're waiting for the construction to be finished, and then we can know. Then I have a lot of landscaping and stuff that we want to do.
Okay,
But
but
we
that
were
has
waiting.
nothing to do with the road itself as
Oh
such.
no, no, the road itself is You know, it's there. There's not a whole lot
Okay.
that you can change. They're going to change the corner here a little.
Now,
And
for any traffic that might bypass onto Maple Street, you haven't thought of putting a little sign up on Maple, say, gas down in the corner 500 feet or something like that?
well, it would be nice.
Well, there you
It's a
go.
thought.
There's a thought for you. See, if you haven't thought about it yourself. Rodney? Okay, Rodney, is there anything else you want to cover at all about our topic here of
No,
construction?
not really. It's just I hope it goes along smoothly and it doesn't last 2 years like it did in Malone. That's all.
Yeah. But again, they're reaping the benefits of it right now.
Well, I don't know if we're reaping now, but we will be after
They
it's done.
in Malone are.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and it's been
Malone,
no question.
Malone has a beautiful.
No question.
It really turned out, and I think it's going to beautify our village. It's something that's.
And it's needed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would
Needed.
say so.
Thanks very much, Rodney.
Okay,
Nice
Bob.
talking with you.
All right, sir.
Well, you can hear the trucks in the background. We're right out down on Main Street, one of our first businesses, and we're standing in front of Sandy's Deli. Coffee, soda, beer, ice cream cones. This is the place, and this lady right here is,
Sandy Landry.
and you own this business, Sandy?
Yes, I do.
How long have you been here at this location?
8 years in February.
Doing very well, I understand. There's
Yes.
a lot of people in there right now, and it's only 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we are here this morning to talk about the construction along here, how you think it might affect your business, if it has affected your business, any plans you have to deter that in any way, and what do you think it's going to be when it's all done? That's all. And isn't that very simple? Okay.
Well, an opinion about what it's going to be when it's done, I think it's necessary. I guess it's a necessary evil. We all have to live with it. We all want improvements here. We've needed them here on this particular spot on Main Street for some time because the parking situation is so bad. As to whether it's affected me yet, I haven't felt it. This time of year we're very busy, and we have been every day, so people have to stop out here and wait to get through the stops up here. They're having a look at my sign, finding out where I am. The local people know their way around all the side streets, so they can
Cool.
avoid the traffic. Maybe that's the reason that our lunch hours are still busy. Basically, our lunch hour is local people. So they're finding their way around.
Maybe get somebody who could run out with coffee to the car and sell it right, deliver it right to the cars.
Maybe that's what I should start as a curb service.
You'd be
out here.
surprised at these innovations people have done already. We've seen along the way.
Yeah.
And we're right across from the Adirondack Hardware, right across from the Village Park. It's a very popular place here. And the big parade coming up, you get a lot of business at Parade Day.
Yeah, July 4th celebration is traditionally our biggest day of the year. Of course, it remains to be seen what it's going to be like this year. Everyone knows it's a different setup, different situation. There's going to be a different program. So I guess we'll just find out. The traffic is backing up every day, but it doesn't seem to affect, like I said, our local business. Perhaps later in the fall, if the work isn't done then. We seem to get a lot more off-road traffic then. Another customer is the Canadians, and they're also local. They can walk here, so...
The boat people, right, that come down off the boats here, come stop over here. You know,
they're
we
regular customers.
yeah,
and
we
they're here.
complained about the traffic in the village of Champlain when we had this lineup for years, a mile through. It was solid. And now we don't get any of it. I mean, the downtown died, and that's what happens. And with the new streets, it will help you. Are you doing anything at all in anticipation of a decrease or anything to counteract this at all?
No, actually, I haven't made
Okay.
any plans. Our spring has been so busy. We've increased our business substantially with some catering that we're doing, and I've been so busy doing that that's another workload for me. And so I have someone else taking my place in the kitchen. And our daily lunch, and our delivery at night has been busy. This may affect our delivery at night somewhat. I have seen a decrease there, and of course they're gone at night. I don't know if people anticipate the fact that it's difficult to get down here, but the workers are already gone at night. So that
Maybe
doesn't
you'll
really,
get more when people don't want to
shouldn't be a
drive
reason
down here. They
affect
can rather have you drive out to their house. Maybe you'll get some delivery that way.
Well, let's hope so. Anyway, it's been fine up till now.
Thank
and
you, Greg. You look forward to it, and you're glad it's being done.
Oh yes, I knew it was necessary, and we've had 8 good years here, and I'm sure we're going to be around for a few more.
Thank you very much,
These
Sandy.
kinds of improvements have to be done.
Have to be done. Thank you for talking with us. And remember, Sandy's Deli on Lake Street. What's the number here, Sandy?
You had to ask, huh?
Yeah.
133.
133 Lake Street. Stop in and have a sandwich and something to drink, and say hello to this nice lady, Sandy.
Thanks.
Thanks. Right, bye. We're now across the street from Sandy's at Adirondack Hardware, and I'm talking with a Steve who?
Steve Savage.
Steve Savage, and are you from Rouses Point, Steve?
I'm originally from Malone.
I thought that name sounded.
I've been here 4 years.
Been 4 years. Are you manager here, or who's
Yes.
your manager? All right, we're talking to the right person. We're here talking several things. We want to know about the 9B construction. For instance, has it affected you in any way yet with this little they've started?
No, we've had, in fact, last month was the best increase we've had since we've been here in 4 years. And this past Saturday and Sunday was the busiest weekend we've had also.
All right, now,
Victoria Day.
You got a couple advantages. You're on this street. They can come down here and not even hit Main Street, right? They come up all off Maple, local people.
That's true.
How much transient traffic do you get?
How much transit traffic?
Yeah, I mean, just people going by on vacation. You don't get a big percentage of your business, probably?
Most of our business comes from the boating people and the campsites. And I would say 65% of our business in the summer is Canadian business.
Okay, now are those the people that, if they're at the boat place, they can walk over here, probably?
From Gaines, most of them do walk.
Oh, that's right, you got the others, yes?
And the rest do travel.
Oh, you get that much Canadian business, you
in
do?
the summertime, yes.
All right. And when they're going to really be digging down here, again, they can get to you by this, we're talking Chapman Street, so that people can still get to you.
They can come down Maple and cut across, which is an advantage.
And your parking is on Chapman, so they won't have to worry about the front entrance. You don't have a front entrance, so to speak, do you?
No.
Your entrance is here on Chapman. All right. Do you think that it's needed?
The construction?
Yes.
Well,
the condition of the street. We need a new street in Rouses Point?
I think the trucks, the tractor trailers have caused a lot of damage to the roads, and I think it would certainly enhance the look in Rouses Point.
It's going to get wider sidewalks?
Yes.
They're talking 5 feet.
That's right. Which would cut into our lawn, but that's not a problem.
Get them closer to your windows. They can look in. Right?
That's true.
You get any of your bulletins out the window, they can look right in and see. All right. Well, what are these 3 things I'm looking at over here? You're also into the rental?
Yeah, these 3 items are all for rent.
So you rent a lot of items here also?
Yes, we do.
And that'd be mostly local, so that isn't the transient, obviously.
Most of it is local. I would say 50% is for the homeowner and 50% is probably for the contractor.
Contractor rents that much here from
Yes.
you? Okay. All right. Anything else you want to comment about the 9B construction? Here's some nice looking truck coming in. Look at this, Calvin. Look at this. Isn't that a nice name right there? And look at the guy inside smiling too. Look at this. Hi. One of our new channel people, cable television. He's checking up on Hometown Cable this morning. How are you, John? Okay, well, anything else, Steve, that you can think of?
The only thing I'd like to say is I'd like to convince my boss, my owner, to soon advertise with you people.
Oh, boy, that's great to put on TV. Great. Well, listen, we know it can do some good. And if maybe some of those people out there who watch this channel would tell you how much they watch it, maybe they'd be glad to see that your ad and they'd know what you have to advertise for, correct?
Yes.
Hardware store is hardware, but all these rentals, I'm sure, people may not know about, and it would be great.
I guess that would make us unique in this area.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are. You're the only one around. And that was an unsolicited testimony right here from Steve Savage. Thanks much, Steve.
Thank you.
All right. Best thing you said all day. All right. We're standing on Lake Street as we have been all morning, and we're in front of Kathy's Furniture and Upholstery. I can't see it, but I know it's up there. And this guy right here has a lot to do with this place. And your name?
Vinny Gay.
Yeah, and Champlainer too, right?
Yeah, Champlain, New York, Rapid Road.
Rapid Road, and you were born down on that Rapid Road.
Yes, sir.
And now you're making your living right here and doing very well out of here in Rouses Point.
Doing very well. A lot of local support.
Super. Glad about that. Now, the reason why we're here is to see if you're going to continue that way, what you're going to do to improve it while they do 9B right here in front of you. As you know, they're going to be tearing this up completely, taking all these sidewalks out, I understand, right back to your door.
Right. I talked to Jim Luck, and he stated to me that he would really help, like if we had a load of furniture come in and the sidewalk was out and we needed help, he would help us move the furniture out of the road or whatever. He would make special sidewalks for the customers. There'd be no problems whatsoever with the construction.
You're wondering what you're going to tell me. That's a great statement. Jim Luck Construction Company from the Morrisonville area.
Right.
Played ball with Jim Luck back in 1944. Nice guy. I'm glad he's going to do that. And he'll be doing that for others, obviously, along the way, because he knows the problems you have. And even though it's going to be nice next year, you've got to subside this year, right? You got to do it this year. You got to get your
See, I don't think it's going to hurt our business because the people that are coming down to our store are coming especially to come to our store.
And that's, yes.
And I think the people it's going to hurt is like the restaurants, the tourists going by. You know, they're not going to stop. They're going to go to the side streets. But here, the people are coming to our store. As long as we can provide parking, like we're going to have parking on Washington Avenue, Dick Gaines and Mr. Harrison. Peter Harrison's supposed to get together and fix the parking lot up, all three of us. Well, some of the local, residents are going to get together and fix this all up and have parking for our customers.
We've heard about that on Hometown Cable when they had the village board meeting. Never mentioned where they were at the time, but you figure that'll take care of the parking. And you deliver, right? They don't pick up their merchandise very often.
Right, we have free delivery.
You have free delivery for here, and anything else you want to tell me? What you anticipate when it's all done? You're going to have a nice new sidewalk?
Yeah, I guess I don't know that much about, but this is supposed to be a foot lower from what I understand. They're supposed to take all the tarmac out and go down 4 foot, according to my brother. He works for Jim Luck, and he says that they're going to fill it in the same day. There'll never be a stop of traffic through this area, which is very good.
You see, I heard that anybody who's good to Jim Luck, when the sidewalk's put back in, there's going to be an arrow pointing right to various doors, and it'll say the name of your business for people who give him coffee and so forth while during construction.
Right.
You believe that?
I think so. I think...
Now we get some noise going by.
I think Jim Luck is very good because he's got a big firm, and I think he's going to do a good job. I'm sure he's going to do the best he can to assist us in any way, and I don't think it's going to hurt our business. I mean, it's going to be dusty, it's going to be a little hard, but I don't think it's going to hurt our business whatsoever. I think it's going to be very good.
We're in front of Kathy's Furniture and Upholstery, right?
Kathy's Furniture and Upholstery.
Yeah, but you don't hear about Vinny often. This is what Vinny looks like right here. He smiles too. See, look at this. See? They were arguing who's going to come out here and do this, and he lost. Thanks very much, Vinny. Okay. Vinny Gay, Kathy's Upholstery and Furniture, or in reverse.
Well, Kathy's Furniture and Upholstery.
All right.
And carpeting.
And carpeting. See, we're alternating. We're being fair. We're male, female, male, right on. And here we are. Here we are with Laurie Harrison in front of Harrison's Pharmacy on Lake Street. Good morning, Laurie.
Good morning.
And thank you for consenting to come out here and talk with us a little bit about 9B construction. Your pharmacy here, you're getting a lot of people off the street, I would assume.
Yep.
And have you noticed any different yet in the business?
Well, right now we're holding pretty well. It sounds bad, but it looks fine. Business as usual. There's a couple of holdups here and there, but from day to day it's working very well.
All right. Do you get a lot of people that are going by stopping for a prescription, or is it mostly your regular customers around the area?
It's mostly our regular people. They're our bread and butter, and they're the ones we want to do something extra for. We're trying to offer delivery. We've always offered delivery service in town. We're trying to extend it a little bit farther past town. In town twice a day with pickup and delivery. We want everybody to know that, because at least if we can avoid some of the hassle with driving down here, although it hasn't been bad so far, people are really not complaining.
All right, now let me just, when you say town to me, that means the town of Champlain. That goes way over
Rouses Point,
the village of Rouses Point, and a little bit out in the township.
Yeah,
okay, because
extend a little
people
bit.
use the town. They say, I'm in town, I'm going to town.
Better say Rouses
but
Point.
it's the village mainly.
Right.
But you'd also stretch out a little bit if they really needed it out there. And people can still park on the side streets and come over here, right?
There's the side streets, there's Anctil's parking lot. They've been very good about that. There's driveways, which on a short-term basis you can be in and out. And really the traffic is flowing pretty well. They're doing a great job of rerouting people.
Okay.
And we've always got Maple Street. Maple Street is a beautiful access.
But if they went that way, would that affect your business very much? It would affect some, but would it affect yours?
No, I mean for people to have a way around.
Oh, to get down here,
they can
yes.
go up Maple Street and just take one of the close side streets. We've got State, we've got Washington, we've got Chapman.
All right, and I suppose that if you have trouble with the road construction, you can always go home by boat.
Right.
All right.
You had to get that
I had to get that in just a little bit. All right. I know about this beautiful home, and you can use it. I'm not going to say where it is or anything, but you could go by boat.
Right.
Either on this side of the lake or the other, whichever way you want to go. All right. Anything else you want to tell me about what you expect when it's all done? You're going to have new sidewalks. Did you know that?
It's going to be great. I don't know all what they're going to do.
You don't know what they're going to do. They're going to have.
It's gonna be great.
You're going to have little 8 by 8 and octagon.
Oh yes, they're going to be little.
Yeah, all over
pavers.
now. Yes, pavers. Yes.
And getting the electric out of the air and down the street. That's going to be to everybody's benefit. It's
Yeah,
safer.
absolutely.
It's
When
safer.
you look out that window, you'll see no wires up there anymore.
Well, it's not going to come down in a storm either.
No, exactly. That's another thing.
That's the big deal, I think. I don't mind looking at it, but we're not
Okay.
going to have problems. So
It's a beautiful day today. You get this kind of weather all summer.
they'll get it done.
Do you notice a big influx on the 4th of July weekend? Do you get your
We
business?
get a lot of people walking through, tourists looking for bargains and
How many employees
souvenirs.
do you have?
Well, one full-time and 3 or 4 part-time, and then Peter and myself. We're full-time.
Yeah, you work more than 8 hours a day. You're telling
No,
me
a little
that.
bit.
a little
Just
bit
a
more.
little bit.
That's the privilege of being an owner, right?
Right, well, I just take my homework home, that's all.
Thank you very much, Lori,
Okay,
for talking
thanks
with
for
us
doing
here on
this.
Hometown.
Appreciate it.
Well,
Everything's going great.
Yeah, have you ever met Calvin Caston on that camera right there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good thing we got you, too.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Another unfamiliar face but familiar voice, I guess, on Hometown Cable. Right here, and your name?
Ray Dupree.
Ray Dupree, and now you see the face that goes with the... We see you on, I guess we don't see you much.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit running by, not when you're talking.
Now
though.
and then.
All right. We certainly see your ad on there. Now, we're inside the store here on Lake Street, and we're here, as we mentioned, Ray, to try find out what has happened so far with your business, with the construction. What do you anticipate over the next year? And then after that, what do you think is going to happen when the brand new road is in? What's happened so far?
Well, so far we've seen no change. Actually, business is good as ever. I think the customers that want to shop here, they'll come into Rouses Point. The best route to use right now is Maple Street. Avoid the construction, come down Chapman, and you're right next to the store here. I think as far as seeing any change in lack of business, if anything, it's been greater. We've had a great spring. Looking forward to a good summer. I think as far as a new highway, it'll help. Parking, I think, will probably be a little bit better. Village people are concerned with parking, and I think up here in Washington, they might possibly make parking a little bit better.
Talking about a parking lot up there, right?
Parking lot up there.
Now, you had told me personally, other than not on camera, that you get quite a bit of business from Vermont.
Yes.
And
Vermont's been good.
They'll have, of course, they can always come across the bridge and take Montgomery to come around. You can tell your customers that, right?
That's right.
Maybe in one of your ads, something you can mention. Take Montgomery, come around when you come to see Ray's, you know?
Yep.
And that's just another way. And when you're talking about all kinds of appliances here at Ray's, right? You got the washers, dryers, refrigerators, stoves, microwaves. What else? All the parts, repairs are your big thing.
Repairs,
That
yes.
means that you got to drive when you go to these places.
That's right.
And you deliver.
Yeah. And a lot of our business is done from the phone, so, you know, for that reason, it's not really hurting us.
Okay. And you don't want it to hurt you either.
That's right.
I believe,
That's
yeah.
right.
All right. Anything else? Have you heard anybody else up and down the street comment to you about it? Of course, there are service stations. You know, they're ones that are concerned. The restaurants are
yes,
concerned.
yes.
You know, that's a lot of that transient business. You know, you don't sell a refrigerator to a guy going by in a car very
That's
often.
right. Yeah. Yeah. But it does help.
It does.
The people
Yeah.
that go by and see your signs and see you're here, it helps.
Well, tell them again who we are. This is Ray Dupree. I'm Bob Venn. What's going on here? We're in Ray's
Appliance.
Ray's Appliance, right on. And you have some help here. A lady was here. Who was that lady?
Well, that's my wife, Linda, but I think she's off hiding. She
She's well, she probably went to lunch. It's
yeah.
exactly 12 o'clock.
That's it.
And she follows that clock, does she? Anything else, Ray?
No, I guess that's about it, Bob.
Okay. You've seen the ads here on Hometown Cable, and you're going to continue to see the ads on Hometown Cable. And when you see this smiling face, say hello and tell them you saw him on TV with Bob Venn. What's going on here? Thanks, Ray.
Thank you, Bob.
Do we have to look at the camera?
This man wants to know if we got to look at the camera because we don't edit. So yeah, you don't have to. You can look at me. That's the great. All right, we're going up the street. We just left Ray's, and we're here in an insurance company. What's the name of this insurance company?
Community Insurance Agencies.
All right, and your name?
Frank Shambo.
Are you the owner, Frank? You work for somebody else, or how?
Well, it's a corporation, and I'm the manager of this office. We have 9 different offices.
You live in the area?
In Shazy.
All right, so you're local, so to speak. You're from this area originally, or that sounds like a Port Henry name?
Not a Port Henry name.
No?
My wife is originally from Shazy, and my wife was village treasurer for a couple of years here in Rouses Point.
All right, so here you are in Rouses Point?
We used to live in Rouses Point. We used to live here for 5 years.
Did you? What did you do before? Did you sell insurance then?
No, I worked at Air Slabs.
All right. Well, now we're here to talk about the Route 9B. How long have you been in this location?
Since September of 1990.
Well, then you've got 6 months without the road being done. Do you see any difference in your business because of the construction that they've done so far?
Not yet.
Not yet. Right.
Not yet.
You anticipate any that you can think of?
More than likely.
All right. Who would come into your here rather than you go to their office, go to their house, for instance? They come in here. What kind of insurances do you sell?
Just about everything. We sell life, health, home, auto, and those are the ones that'll probably affect more than anybody else. The individual that's looking for a better price on his home or auto insurance.
Okay, but now you're talking mostly local people or in the area. It's not transients going by.
Right.
So that anybody who comes can come down one of the side streets and walk across the road and get to your place. And I suppose that you make some calls at home?
Yes.
You could?
We do. Yes.
Have you thought about doing that maybe more during this period?
We will probably have to.
There you go. Tell those people out there if they get a problem. There's some people that can't park very far because they can't walk real well, and if they can't pay their bill here, either mail it in or give you a call and see if you can work out something. Would that be reasonable?
Sure.
Okay. What about after this is all done and you're going to beautify the street and make a better sidewalk? Do you see that enhancing your business at all?
Definitely.
More people walking up and down the street?
There will more than likely be more parking. It probably won't be as congested. The street will definitely be in better condition than what it is now.
Okay.
Or at least we hope it will be.
All right, and I think we talked off camera. You don't get hometown cable at this particular time. You don't get cable where you're living in Chazy. You'd like to, wouldn't you?
I'd love to.
You'd love to. You'd love to see us on every week, every night, Sunday night when I'm on, wouldn't you? You'd love to see yourself.
Sure.
You'll have to go visit a neighbor on the 2nd of June when this is showing. All right, well, listen, thank you very much for talking. Anything else you want to talk about, either you're coming here to Rouses Point or about this street or anything else that bothering you or something you want to get off your...
No, it's a nice village. The people are great, and they've supported us so far.
Can't get much better remarks than that to close off talking with Frank. Thanks very much.
Okay, thank you.
We're in a tanning shop, and we were hitting them all on Main Street. We're out of the blue tanning shop, and I'm standing with...
Marge Rushford?
Are you the owner here, Marge?
No, I'm not. My son Michael is.
Michael Rushford?
Yes.
Is the owner. And how many machines? This is a tanning machine, I guess. I've never been in one.
This is a tanning bed. This is, we have 3 of them. 2 of lower intensity, which you tan for 30 minutes, and 1 for, that's double the intensity, and you tan for 20 minutes.
Okay, now this obviously is mostly transients going by don't stop and get tanned.
Not usually.
We're talking about the construction of 9B. Have you noticed any difference? Do you work here regularly?
Quite
Okay.
a bit.
Have you noticed any difference because of the construction of 9B so far?
No, not
Do you
really.
anticipate any differences?
Not really.
People can... Because why?
Because most of our customers, call and plan to come.
Okay, so they can park on the side street. There's going to be a parking lot on Washington, all right? And when it's all done, do you think it's going to make a big difference? It'll be nicer, but other than that, will it affect your business, do you think?
I don't think
Not
really
really.
one way
Okay.
or the other.
All right. It's going to look nicer outside, correct? And how long have you been here in the Out of the Blue? How long is this?
It'll be a year at the end of June that Michael's been here.
Does Michael have a full-time job other than here?
He did have until January, and
Okay.
he lost that job.
So he's in and out of here.
Yeah.
How many hours a day are you open?
We were open from 8 o'clock in the morning until 8 at night, and sometimes later than that.
Mhm.
But lately we've been only opening at 11 because Michael hasn't had as much time, and Ma can't get all the way down here from Ellenberg
From
at 8
Ellenberg,
o'clock in the morning.
Okay, well, look, thank you for taking a little bit of time to talk to Hometown Cable. Our program's called What's Going On Here. And as I told you before, I'm Bob Venn and Calvin Castine on the camera, and we're at the Out of the Blue Tanning Salon on Lake Street. If you haven't been here, stop in and say hello, see what it's all about. We're not here for that reason today, or else we'd ask a lot about it, but we're here to talk about that Route 9B and to meet a nice lady called Marge Rushford. Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, we're still on Main Street. We're right, you see Point Antiques. That was nobody there. We couldn't talk to anybody there. We don't know if there's anybody there or not. It's a 298 number. We were into a beauty shop along here, and it does hair. It's called Heads Up, and we couldn't find anybody there to talk with us. The Northern Co-op food here is only open Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays, and Saturday, and we're not here. It's Tuesday, and we're not coming back, so we didn't get to see them. And across the street, Partners Videos it's closed. I assume they've left the community, and they aren't going to be here anymore, so we can't talk to anybody there, and we're sorry, but that's at least a couple that are closed here, and I don't suppose that's because of the highway, but they are gone, and you see the activity. Look up here, Calvin, on to the north. You see the cars? That's the kind of traffic that's going to be here when there's only one lane traffic. It's a busy street, and we're coming into a busy season. and we're going to go up there and try to talk to a couple of the other people who are available. And we're right in the noon hour, so we're trying to keep out of the restaurants at this particular time. Okay, we're in the corner building now, in the corner of State and Lake Street. We're talking with Mrs.
Bayshard.
Mrs. Bayshard right here. We're in Chauvin's Insurance Agency. And how long have you been in this location, Mrs. Bayshard?
Oh, I've been in this location about 8 years.
8 years. And it's Mrs. Dennis Bayshard,
Yes,
right?
it is.
Cooperville fame. Dennis.
That's right.
That's right. The big Bayshard family. All right. We're here along the street talking to the merchants today to see what, if any, effect that this reconstruction of Route 9B has had, is having now, and will have in the future. Have you noticed any change in your business?
No, I haven't. I really don't feel it will affect this business that much. A lot of people do come in our office. The only problem that they'll have is finding a place to park.
All right. Would you want to suggest any place for them to park?
Well, they are the side streets.
Okay.
And Maple Street.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the village will provide spaces for people to park that have to come down in the area. The tourists that come through may be affected, but I really don't feel it'll affect my business.
Right. The tourist is not. It doesn't affect your business,
No,
right?
it does not.
And we'll let the others where I were talking to different people. So, but for yourself, you don't anticipate any problems.
I don't.
And when it's all nice and pretty and all done in 2 years, you anticipate more business, or you think it's going to affect it?
Well, my business is steady.
Great.
Right along. When they finish, it's going to be beautiful.
That's right.
The sidewalks are going to be nice, and people will be able to walk.
Yes, the sidewalks are going to be 5 feet wide, all the way out, 5 feet. Now, we're just talking to the people at Cedar Hedge, and they said they come down with their wheelchairs. And they'll have a lot more room to walk.
Sidewalks right now are in bad condition
Yes.
because they haven't had any attention over a number of years. So it really will be nice, and I don't look forward to the inconvenience, but I do look forward to the results.
Well, I think there's a lot of people that feel that way. I don't think anybody said it any better than you just said it, though.
Thank you.
Right there, see? And we thank you for talking to us.
You're very
your first
welcome.
name?
My first name is Lita.
Lita. All right, Lita. Yeah, we thank you very much for talking with us here at Chauvin's Insurance Agency, right in the heart of Rouses Point, this big, thriving metropolis. A beautiful little community of Rouses Point, as Calvin says when he's doing his ball games around. And thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Okay, we've come up to the corner of Pratt Street, and we've gone into the old, I guess this was the car wash years ago, and we're into, I understand, is the field engineer's office. Is that correct?
That's right.
And your name?
My name is Greg Grimshaw.
Greg Grimshaw. Grimshaw's a big name around this area. Were you from this area?
No, I've tried to track that down, but I don't seem to have any roots in this area.
Okay, because there's a lot of Grimshaws around here, Greg. Now, Greg, I'm in here. I got your name right on the table there. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to ask you. I'll tell you off the bat, so don't feel that if my questions are not, just say they aren't. You can't answer that, because I don't really know what you're doing as an engineer. What is your prime reason? And you told me there's about 3 other people and yourself.
Right at the present, there's 3 other
engineers, would you call it?
engineers or technicians.
Okay. What is your function here?
My function is the engineer in charge of the project. It involves supervising and administering the contract as between the state of New York and Luck Brothers, who is the prime contractor on the project. That entails ensuring that we get the quality, job that we're paying for. We've asked for a particular product, and we're paying money for it, and we're here to ensure that we get that. We also take care of actually paying the contractor for the work done, maintaining smooth flows of traffic as much as that they can be through a construction project.
But the traffic is actually controlled by Luck. I mean, he's the one that had the people out there doing it.
Right. It's his personnel that actually takes care of the actual flagging, and it's one of my prime responsibilities to make sure that they are doing it to our satisfaction.
Okay. Would it be right for me to say that you are representing the state of New York here?
Yes, I work for the state of New York.
Okay. And you have, quote unquote, nothing to do with the village. The village isn't paying you. You have no responsibilities to the village other than to try to keep the traffic going good and so forth.
The village administrator, Al Barker, and myself are trying to work together.
All
There
right.
are village funds involved in this project, and there are state funds involved in the project. So between the two of us, we are trying to, administer the project together. I mean, the state fund is the major source of the money here, but Art does have in the village interest and say in what goes on.
Okay, it's safe to say that I do not know much about road construction. I don't know much about scheduling and things like that. So I'm going to ask you some questions just off the cuff.
Okay.
That if I can't answer or you don't want to answer, just say so. All right? And I don't want to put you on the spot. You started the project about when?
Third week in April, something like that.
All right. We were down at the south end of the village. We saw them cutting trees down below.
Yep.
Are they going to be cutting trees all the way up?
At spot locations as they affect.
They aren't going to cut all those nice big trees down there.
No, our policy as far as cutting trees goes with if it actually conflicts with the construction of what we're doing, and that's the primary cause. And then there are secondary reasons for taking trees. The primary reason in that would be condition. You get a tree that, while it appears to be healthy, we have a landscape group that comes out and actually evaluates the health of the trees and whatnot. If a tree maybe could slip by getting in behind the sidewalk without having to be taken, but it may be on borrowed time, so to speak. It may only have a few years left to live, and at that point, then it comes crashing down on somebody's house or on the road, or it becomes a maintenance headache for our people. And a major expense to the property owner if they choose to have it taken down at that point. It's quite a bit of money to have a tree taken down. So it serves our function, and it also, I believe, serves the property owners as well.
Where are you from, Greg?
I live in Watertown.
In Watertown, and you travel different locations like this?
Yep. We have assignments depending on where the need arises.
Right. Is there any reason why Greg was sent to this particular job rather than one in Troy or in Utica?
Well, we have a 5-county region in Region 7, and it includes Jefferson, Lewis, Clinton, St. Lawrence, and Franklin. And we have X amount of staff that has to handle all the projects within that region, and I haven't been out of town in quite a while, and it's my turn, and the project suits my, I fit the needs of the project, so kind of a coupling effect it brings me here.
Right, so you'll be here all this year and next year while this project is...
the contractor has proposed a schedule that, a lot of intangibles in there, whether it be in the biggest one, material supply and whatnot, but his schedule shows for completion of this year.
This year, right. Now, is there more than one contractor involved?
The state issues a contract to one prime contractor. He may elect to subcontract certain work. You mentioned the tree people. They are subcontractors.
Okay.
Basically they handle specialty type work. I mean, the contractor's set up to, this particular contractor is set up for, major type work, trench work, big work. You get into setting cutting trees, setting new trees. Some of the other minor miscellaneous items are done by subcontractors.
And there will be some complaints by some people, legitimately or otherwise, who would they normally call? Would they call the village? Would they call Luck, or did they call you, or did they call a fourth person?
Well, what I try to do, and I'll probably be doing within the next week or so, is go out and make a house-to-house, how do you do, if you will, with the people, and introduce myself, give my phone number, and let them know that I am the place, that if they don't, I expect that if they have a problem with the contractor, say he pulls a vehicle across their driveway or something, I expect that they, first off, ask the guy to move the truck. If they get less than full satisfaction, then I will step in.
Okay, so that's part of your job.
Yes.
All right.
I mean, it's our contract with the contractors, I suppose, doesn't specifically say that he has to be courteous, but it goes, I suppose, without saying or without being written into a contract.
Right.
We expect as much.
Okay.
We expect civility.
In the village of Rouses Point, when you see this man come to your door, see, that's Greg Grinshaw, and you're watching this on the second. If he hasn't been in before and he stops in, you'll know why he's there. He's there to let you know and introduce himself, and he's going to be a member of this community for the next year or so, or at least, or close to a year.
Not that I don't like your community, but it's a long ways from my home, so
I'm sure it is.
Looking forward to
I'm
getting
sure
back
it
to
is.
home.
Now, I understand that you're going to be resurfacing up as far as the church area only.
Yeah, there's
resurfacing.
a minor area of reconstruction right at Route 11 and 9B.
Right, the corner.
With the exception of that, the resurfacing will start at the southern end of the village, and will go to basically in the area of the church.
And then it's going to start again at Route 2 and go north.
And then our resurfacing picks up at
Okay.
Route 2 and goes north.
In between, you're going to be going down foot, 2 feet?
Well, varies, but it will be what we call a reconstruction area. We're pulling up all the old concrete and blacktop, and everything. We'll be replacing it with new gravel and new blacktop
Now,
courses.
my understanding is, I'm talking with Art Bowker, was that it's very possible that they're going to try to maintain at least one lane through here.
Oh, yeah.
During that time, is that right? Is that part of his contract?
That's part of the contract.
So that's something you're responsible for, so to speak. Is that he should do that,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, at the least we'll do is maintain on an occasional basis one-way traffic via flag persons. Now, you know, for the most part, you know, traffic can be maintained 2 ways unless we happen to be working on something.
You understand? We talked that it'd be nice to go around Maple Street and so forth if all traffic went that way, but the merchants downtown said, just a minute, we want them to come by our door. We still don't want to be out of business.
No, that's true, and I don't blame the businesses for wanting that. But what it gets involved in is so much traffic gets backed up. You can only put so much traffic through a construction project, and it's just a fact of life. I mean, traffic slows down, backs up, and whatnot. Now, as far as the businesses, you know, we'll do whatever we can, you know, to minimize the impact. And I'd be lying if I say there wasn't going to be an impact. We understand that it's a painful experience to have to go through something like this.
Am I correct in assuming that you're going to go right from the front of this building foundation to the foundation on the far side? All the sidewalks will come up complete?
Yep, we'll be replacing, again, without having reviewed this, but the majority of the sidewalks, and there'll be areas even of the sidewalks that will be replaced with what we call a paving block.
We understood that was something like that.
Are
those square or octagon? Or?
Well, they're a combination of octagonal head with a rectangular tail.
Well, that makes a lot of sense to me. Can you explain that to me a little bit?
Octagonal being stop sign shaped.
Okay.
With a rectangular tail on it. And they knit together just like putting a jigsaw puzzle together.
Yes,
If you're familiar with the construction job we've just finished in Malone Village.
I'm not, but I was told it was there. That's what someone quoted me. I haven't seen it.
It's quite a rustic appearance. My personal opinion is that it looks a lot better than just plain old white concrete. But.
All right. Well, you're watching what's going on here. We're doing a survey of Route 9B through the community of Rouses Point, and we're talking with Greg Grimshaw, the resident engineer for the state of New York for this project, and we'll be right back to you. Thanks for watching Hometown Cable. Stand by. Kind of hate to ask this next question because I have a feeling that we won't get a complete answer because no one seems to know. But how long, let me give you a real toughie, when you start digging this 1 or 2 or 3 feet down and remove all this sub-base, whatever you're doing, how long will the streets be in that condition where they're what you call really nearly impassable?
Well, the word impassable is kind of a misnomer, really.
Okay.
We will maintain its passability. As far as the excavation that pulls the existing blacktop and concrete courses up, that'll be pulled up and will be replaced with a gravel by day's end.
1 day or 2, depending on the weather.
We'll only do segments. We'll only pull up as much as we can replace in a day. It will be graveled for a while. You know, they won't come in and pave the first courses of blacktop until it's all ready. So
you're not going to dig the whole thing in 1 day either, is what you're saying.
No.
Well, see, we don't know that. You understand? All right.
It'll take a while to dig that out.
Okay.
And it'll be gravel for a while. So, as far as a time frame, I really can't pin that down. Depends on weather. Depends on what we find when we start digging.
Okay.
It's a secret when you get down below the pavement.
When you start getting gravel down, you get complaints about dust. You do anything about the dust?
We have controls that we do to minimize the dust. We put calcium chloride down, which keeps the dust down. We'll have a water truck that tries to keep it wet, but you know, it's something we try to keep on top of. But I mean, our busy season is right through the heat of the summer, and it's just prone for dust. So we do what we can to keep it down.
Would it be safe for me to ask the people out there to slow down a little bit when they're traveling in this? The stones won't fly as much?
We've got a lot of people that are going to be working in the curb, between curbs. Most of them are wearing orange. Everybody should be wearing hard hats, and give them a break. Our signs say that as you come into the project. It's appreciated.
Any final comments to the people out there as to anything about the job whatsoever. That,
Well, you know, we're here. If anybody's got any questions, welcome to stop in. They don't always guarantee satisfaction, but I will give an answer. Try to give an answer.
That's honest, right? That's honest. Greg, no, of course, you have to feel with the people. They do have a problem.
No, that's true.
But in order to have progress, you've got to have a problem for a short while, right?
Father quoted me. He used to work in construction that to make an omelet, you have to break eggs.
There you go. And the person that's in charge of the breaking eggs here and making sure that the omelet gets into the dish or the eggs and makes an omelet is Greg Grimshaw, State of New York engineer, field engineer, and the job and the contractor is Jim Luck. Thanks much, Greg.
Okay.
Pleasure. Well, we're still on Lake Street in Rouses Point. It's going on 2:30. We've been around for about 5 hours now, and we're now in front of Shazy Hardware Building Supply, and we have with us
Brian Ledoux.
Brian Ledoux, yeah, he's one of the owners here. Dad'll be glad I said that, right? One of the owners, one of the Ledouxs. And we were here for a show before, but we're here today to talk about Route 9B, Brian. What, if any, has this construction so far, if any, affected your business?
I think it affects traffic in the area somewhat. People, if they can deter away from the construction, they do.
Have you noticed any decrease? Not from when I was in there the last 20 minutes, anyway.
We haven't had a noticeable decrease yet, but construction hasn't started directly out in front of the store yet, but we anticipate it will have an effect.
Will have an effect. Are you doing anything to counteract that in any way? Have you got any plans, additional advertising, or mention it on your advertising or anything at all?
We will be promoting a little more heavily, as we normally do, that we offer delivery service, which should help the customer out if they do have a problem getting in the yard.
Okay, you tell them what you will. Tell them right out there. That's what you just heard him.
Free
right?
delivery.
Free delivery. Just call. Tell him what you want. He'll bring 2 out. You bring 1 back, right? That's possible?
If that's what you want.
If you don't know which one you want, he'll bring both and you can look at it. And we've got this string hitting us in the face here. So you can always do that. And that's one of the things they're going to try to do to keep your business, because they got good products here at Shazy Hardware, a good advertiser. You see their business, you see their smiling faces on Hometown Cable on Channel 21. Often, right? Exactly. All right, now what else? What about when it's done? Do you ever anticipate blacktopping your yard here?
Right, most certainly. We've deterred or delayed doing our yard with anticipation of the repair that's going to happen here. So.
Right. Now, we were just going to sit down in this seat right here. Then he said, watch the dust. And sure enough, it's still dust. And maybe some's here, but some's from the road. And there's some construction across. They've been putting in some pipes, I guess, over in front of the recreation center. Anything new in your business that you want to just mention to us at all? Anything new that's happening?
We've increased our product line in building materials to go a little deeper into the amount that we offer. So we've diversified in building materials. It's been the most recent change.
Okay, so the good time to find that out is during construction. If you have no other reason to come up and see the construction, stop in and see Shazy Hardware. We're talking with Brian Ledoux. You're watching Hometown Cable. What's going on here? I'm Bob Venn, and we're just going to call it a day here, and this is going to be shown, as we know, you're watching it on June 2nd. Well, since we last talked to you, we've stopped at the Holland Hotel, we've stopped at the barber shop, we stopped at the liquor store, and the 2 Freeports up here, Amex and Get and Go, and we found nobody available to talk to us. So we're sorry you missed you people, and anybody else we haven't seen on Lake Street, because we've just run out of time. But thanks very much for those who have talked to us, and the very best of luck with Route 9B. It's going to be beautiful when it's done.
I think so too.
All right. And if you don't want to take this trip, you can always go where?
Shazy. Say that on the air?
Go to Shazy, right?
Right.
Shazy's got the same product. Say it on the air.
Right.
Shazy Hardware.
Shazy Hardware.
Your brother will be glad.
Right.
Okay. Thanks for watching Hometown Cable. And remember, this is on every Sunday night at 5 o'clock. 8 o'clock, 1 a.m., and 9 a.m. the following morning for what's going on here. And every night at the same hour for various programs put on by Sam and Calvin Castine, Hometown Cable, a name that has meant so much to you people out there in the northern tier. And thanks very much for the comments about it. And Calvin likes to hear those things, and we talk about the nice comments you give us. And continue to, and patronize, please, all of the customers who advertise here, all the business places who advertise on Hometown Cable. And one other thing, if you're not already a patron and have not sent your $12, why don't you consider it and help keeping this kind of programming on the air? And because I'm not getting it, but it costs money for those tapes and this gas and so forth. And Calvin and his family like to eat, so I don't know if you like me saying that, but anyway, get those $12 in there. That's what keeps Hometown Cable on the air. And nice people like this. Hi, what's going on here? Bob Venn, your host, saying that if you've been through Rouses Point in the past week or so, you'll know that there is construction down Lake Street. And we were trying to find out what it was all about, what effect it may have had already, what it's going to have, and what merchants are doing to counteract this expected delays. So we've been in here in Rouses Point for the last 4 or 5 hours talking to maybe 8 or 10 or more merchants, and if you'll tune in this coming Sunday night, you'll hear what they had to say. And we've talked to the engineer and to Art Bowker, and I think you'll find it interesting, and you'll know what is happening on the Main Street, Lake Street in Rouses Point, New York. And thanks for watching every night at 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 a.m. the following morning, right after that 1 a.m. show. And thanks for watching Hometown Cable every night.